Hi, this is Sheila Stromberg, Knitorious SHE. I am making a little tutorial today for a crocheting pattern that I'm about to release. It's called Mingo Slouch. Here's the finished version of it. Isn't it just so pretty? I love it. It's so rainbow and soft and just everything that's right with the world. But I was having some testers and they were having a hard time understanding the poof stitch. I'm calling it a poof, you know. Sometimes you make things up and then you get to name them. Super creative names like poof stitch. So I'm going to just do a little tutorial. I'll show you guys how that is worked in here. So here's my swatch. I'm using a light color yarn so you guys can see more clearly what I'm doing. So you'll go ahead and chain in the swatch. You're going to chain 14 and then turn single crochet across to just get a little foundation. And then when you're ready to turn the row after you're done working the single crochet row, you're going to turn the work. I just went ahead and worked 4 rows of it so you guys could see what it looks like. This is going to look different worked in turn rows. Then you can see all of the direction of the poofs are the same when you work in the round. These kind of go this way, then that way, then this way, then that way. So this is going to look just a little bit different than what you're going to end up with on your actual hat. Okay, let's get started. So the row is worked by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3. And make sure you leave this top chain like kind of loose. You don't want it super tight, especially when you're working the actual hat, because you're going to have to work into this stitch here. This counts as a double crochet. This is the top of the double crochet. So make sure it's not super tight or you're not going to be able to get into it, and that's going to be a problem. Okay, so to work the poof, it's hardest on this first one where we don't have the rest of the row going yet. So just, you know, be patient. It'll get a little easier after the first stitch. Sorry, that got tight. I'm going to loosen it back up. Okay, so what you're going to do is yarn over once. Okay, and then I kind of am using my right hand pointer finger to hold the stitches on the hook on this first one because they kind of slip around. And then you're going to bring your hook around to the back and then bring a yarn over and bring it up to the front. Now you'll have 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we're going to just do it again. Yarn over in the front, bring it around, yarn over in the back. Oh, I think I went over the wrong way. There we go. Now you have 5, and then once more yarn over in the front, bring it around, and then draw another loop. Now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to yarn over and then just bring it through all of the loops. I found it a little easier, instead of having the loops down here, to bring them up onto the shaft of the hook, and then it kind of went through a little easier. And depending on the yarn that you're working, you might have to go like one at a time. And that's just fine. The yarn that I'm using for this demo is kind of splitty, so I'll just go through it slowly. Okay, so that's one poof. So you can see, let me just take that out. You can see this is the yarn over and drawing it through stitch. This here is actually what counts as the double crochet. This is the top of the chain stitch. So these are the first 2 stitches, 1, 2. So don't get confused and think that this is the first stitch of the row. It's actually this one there. Okay, so, all right, for the swatch, we're going to go ahead and skip 1. On the first row, it's going to be single crochets, but I've worked through the rest, so you'll see it's the top of a poof, and then we're going to go into there next. So we're going to double crochet into there, skipping that stitch. Okay, so it's a little easier now that you kind of have work to grab onto with your right hand. So we're going to work the poof just the same. This time it's as a double crochet instead of chaining though. So we're going to yarn over in the front, bring it around to the back, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, and then you'll have 7. You'll get fast at this by the time you're done. Then bring it through. Skip 1, double crochet again. So basically it's kind of one, it looks like 1 stitch, but we really have 2 steps to it. The double crochet and then the poof. So yarn over, bring it to the back, yarn over, bring it to the front, yarn over, back, front, back, yarn over, and just draw it through. I swear the Malabrigo is not this splitty. When I'm working this sample, I picked pretty bad yarn to choose from. I should have picked something that had less ply. So then we'll just go ahead across the row. And so you can see I kind of can grab onto it while I go. It makes it a little bit easier while you're going. to have something to grab onto. So this is how we're working it straight without any increases. When you work the crown of the hat, you're going to be working into, you're not going to have skip stitches in between on some of the rows, especially the first 2 rows. So you'll be working, instead of a double crochet there, it'll be going into the top of that poof like that. That's going to increase it. And it looks really seamless. You won't be able to tell. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have one more. So you can see it's kind of confusing on these ends. When you guys are working on the first row, it's easy to see the last stitch because it's a single crochet. But so we're going to have to kind of dig in there and get out that chain stitch. And if you can't find it, you know, like you guys crocheters are really easy at like BSing it. Like, oh well, just put it up there and it's fine. As long as your stitch count at the end of the row works, then that's what's important. Okay. Okay, so this is how your guys' gauge swatch will look when you're all done with it. You should have 5 rows of poofs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to just fasten it off and block it. I thought really quick, while I have this, I'm going to show you guys how to do the crocheted ribbing. I have 2 finishing options for the hat. The one that I did in this rainbow sample is actually knit ribbing because I was really tight on yarn. They only had 1 skein of it. And so I opted for a knit ribbing to just get away a little bit more length. So if you're tight on yardage, go ahead and do a knit ribbing if you know how. If not, you can do a crocheted ribbing. I'll show you guys how to do it. So we're going to just chain 3 for a double crochet, and then we're going to turn the work. And so this is the first stitch of the row. Remember, we have the chain, and then this is the first stitch of the row. So we're going to go into that. We're going to double crochet 1 more. And then for the ribbing, you're actually going to skip the next stitch. So you're kind of picking them up at a rate of 3 stitches worked to every 4 stitches you come to. So you're going to double crochet 3, skip 1, double crochet 3, skip 1. And that's going to make the ribbing just a little bit snugger than the actual body of the hat, because we want the body of the hat nice and loose so that it drapes nice and slouchy for the style to look right. But we want the ribbing to hold it on your head actually, so we will decrease the stitch count here so that it's just a little bit more snug. And of course my stitches aren't divisible by 3 because this is the right stitch count for the swatch, but not necessarily for the ribbing. So anyways, you guys will have it in multiples of 3, so it comes off evenly. So then to work the ribbing, and you again will be in the round, so it's going to look a little bit differently than this one. So we have the first stitch is a plain double crochet. Then we're going to do a front post double crochet, and that just makes it ribbed. So what we do is, you see the space in between the 2 stitches. You're going to go from the front around to the back, like so. You're going through, you can see it on the back, and back out. Yarn over, bring it through, yarn over, bring it through 2 loops, yarn over, bring it through 2 loops. So you can see how that looks. It looks like ribbing. It looks like knit ribbing, you know. And then make sure you don't work into that stitch because we just worked it by working around the body of the previous row. So we're going to go into the following stitch. And actually I I crocheted up a sample of this with the crocheted ribbing, and it actually stays on your head really nicely, which I'm super pleased about because I didn't know how the ribbing would work, if it would work well or not. But if it feels a little tight to you, you can pick up your stitches at a different rate than I did, or the same if it's also a little bit too loose for you. And a lot of how it's going to feel is going to depend on how you block it. Make sure you block this. Don't skip it. I know crocheters, we are always skipping blocking. We're like, oh, it's fine. I don't need that. But you need it for this pattern, or it's not going to look slouchy and cute. It's going to look like, you know, a regular beanie, which is fine, I guess, if that's what you want. But, you know, I like it slouchy. So, okay, you can see how the ribbing kind of pops out like that, and it makes these other stitches sit back behind, just like in a knit ribbing. And so it's kind of expand well, you fit it over your head and snug up and hold it on your head. It works actually surprisingly well. So I hope you guys don't have any trouble with that. If you have any other questions, just go ahead and leave a comment and I will get back to you. Okay, good luck. Have fun with this pattern. I love it. I'm just going to wear this everywhere, but it's the middle of summer right now, so I have to wait. It's horrible. Okay, I hope you guys are knitting yours or crocheting yours when you don't have to wait too long. Okay, bye.